I really started being frustrated with the fourth episode and was kind of cursing Scott Gimple for what they did to Rick. I really didn't see almost a point to this series because I was so frustrated with him not bringing the man that we knew anymore. And actually ended up loving the episode. It's been a long time since I loved Walking Dead episode so much actually, and I was really pleased with it. Michonne tries to get Rick back to reality here, and it takes her the entire episode to do so. Rick is obviously broken, almost beyond repair because of his time spent with the CRM. Michonne no longer recognizes him, and she won't have it. We needed a timeout, she tells him after she threw him out of the helicopter, and they're not in an abandoned building. I don't like who you are with them. They see what happened to their helicopter they were on, which crash lands in a building next to them. Michonne tells him that they can escape now. The CRM thinks you're dead, but Rick won't listen. They need to go on without me. She eventually tells him about their son, something that wasn't really explored in the original Walking Dead series, I might add. I've watched the entire show. For the life of me, I can't really even picture their own son. So that just tells you how little he was in the original series. Obviously, Rick is stunned, but that doesn't make him change his mind. Guerrera wrote this episode here, and I think it was really well executed. We are witnessing a Rick who we no longer recognize. He's no longer the brave man who led the survivors in The Walking Dead. He's afraid. He's broken. And Michonne comes to finally understand what broke inside him, as does the audience. The scene where she leaves Rick alone, leaving for good but hoping he'd come after her, is heartbreaking. Rick thinks about it for several moments and eventually runs after her as another helicopter bombs the place. There are walkers everywhere in the building, and Rick goes to save Michonne, refusing to abandon the love of his life. Rick is lying to himself as he keeps telling her that he's extremely important to CRM and he can't abandon them. There are walkers inside the building, and Michonne gets stuck in the stairwell. There's a huge chandelier that drops on her and she can't move. Rick manages to get her out, and together they head into a room. They make love, and of course it's completely natural for them to do so after being separated for so long. But that's not when they finally reconnect. Michonne asks Rick what the CRM took from him. He answers back, Carl. That's when I think we finally understand the journey Rick has been on. The CRM has completely broken him, and he's even afraid of losing everything he's ever fought for. He was dreaming of Carl before he met them, and then he finally disappeared. He couldn't see his boy anymore, and that almost took Rick's humanity along with it. He began dreaming about Michonne, but those dreams are almost nightmares as he remembers his wife but can't get to her. On the episode and his character's journey, Andrew Lincoln had this to say. I think it's more about pain, Lincoln told Entertainment Weekly of the tender moment. It's about Rick wanting Michonne and then fearing what he's about to unlock again. Yet sort of articulate in the scene further in the episode when he gets to say that I can't do this again. I haven't got the capacity to do this again. I worked out how to die and live again. Andrew Lincoln adds on how their relationship finally recovers. It is an absolute necessary scene that allows Michonne to realize that there's something really broken here. More broken than she's ever anticipated, he said. It's not just resolved by their intimacy, it explains a lot of his behavior prior to this meeting. It also informs that scene when she says, it doesn't matter if we die in this building, so be it, but we're not done. It's not time to let go. I think that this scene is what changed my viewpoint of the series up until then, and I think Guerrera did a fantastic job writing this episode. She made us understand what Rick truly felt and why he was acting the way he did. He couldn't let go of the CRM and go back to Alexandria. He couldn't be the brave man again. And I also got really emotional while the both of them acted. Just and Rick finally poured his heart out. I thought that Guerrero and Lincoln were both fantastic this episode, and they've been really good this entire series. And I think that this episode they both really just shine together. I thought they were fantastic. The ending of the episode, I think, is what we've been waiting for. It's certainly what I've been waiting for. The two of them head out of the building together, and Rick has finally decided to go with Michonne back home to Alexandria. The building collapses, and they get into a hybrid car and leave together. I think this episode was the best of the season yet, and I think it's the Rick we wanted to see from the first episode, from the very beginning. There are also quite a zombie action, which is never a bad thing. I understand the purpose of the journey now, and I really am looking forward to next week. I thought this episode was truly fantastic. As a fan of Walking Dead, I'm pretty satisfied with the series so far. There are 2 episodes left. I really hope that they make it back to Alexandria. I want to see the reunions. I know that Rick in the comics doesn't really make it, but I think that right now the show can end differently. They've done that. We know that Walking Dead, the series hasn't really followed the comics all that much, so they can actually make him end up being alive, which would be a bad change, at least for now. You don't need to kill him now, especially after how this series is going. I would be upset if they killed Rick at the end of this miniseries, and we only have 2 episodes left. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you thought about the ones who live, episode 4, the next episode is going to title Become, which is also like every title is parts of the comics title of the series, and I think I think that's pretty cool. So let me know what you think about the episode down in the comments below. See you next time. Peace.